Alright, today I'm going to show you guys how, well at least how I do a European deer mount. Some things we're going to need is a knife, sharp knife, pair of pliers, screwdriver, Vaseline, gloves because the process gets pretty messy, and of course a deer head. Also, I call it a turkey fryer. A pot big enough to boil water in, and peroxide. But that's all you should need. Alright, to start the process, we're going to take this and take everything that we can take off of it before we start with the hot water. All the fur, the skin, any meat, anything we can get close to bone as we can. That'll just make the process go quicker. The less it has to cook off, the quicker your time is. So you just take your knife, like I said, take all the fur off and just cut anything out that you can that we won't have to later put in the hot water. Good enough. Alright, so you got your deer head in your water. So you don't want the water to boil. You just want it hot. Maybe 180, 190 degrees. Not 100% sure on that. You just want the water covering the deer head at all times. So just check it every once in a while. Make sure your flame's still going, and make sure the water's still covering. Find something to pass the time. Clean your garage, your shop, whatever. That's what I'm about to do. As you guys saw, my floor was rather messy. So just come check this every once in a while. Make sure you haven't burnt the backyard down or anything, and you should be good to go. As you see, deer head's been cooking for a little while. It's been in there for about an hour or so. Just slowly cooking. We go ahead and pull as much stuff as we can off of it, and then get it back in the water. But you're gonna wear gloves for this. If you happened to steal your wife or girlfriend or mom's cookie sheet to do this on, I would recommend make sure you clean it very well and not let her find out about it. So we're just going to pull as much stuff as we can off of here. Scrape, pull, cut, whatever you can before it gets back into the water bath. Now, if some of this stuff doesn't come off as easy as others, you can just leave it on there. I mean, it's going back into the water bath, so the longer it cooks, the easier it is to get the stuff off. So don't fret too much over it. It's a little gross, but when you're dealing with the eyeballs, go ahead and pop them so they don't, once again, gross, so they don't spray all that boiled water and mess on you. As you see, we got quite a good bit of the meat out and off. It still needs a good rinse and a few more things. So the reason for the screwdriver You see the hole back here. This is where the brain is. And you take this, jam it in there, you know, like a dental pick or anything would work. You just loosen everything in there, use the water hose, spray in there. Eventually you'll get everything out. And here's as you can see, on that there's still a bunch of stuff, and you know, this is probably one of the toughest points to get everything off, is around these little ear bones in there. Now this is optional. This is optional, but I did this by accident one day and decided that I liked how it looked, and it made it a lot easier. You can stick a screwdriver in that hole and pry up. It'll take that whole bone out, make it a lot easier to get all the meat off of it and everything. And plus, if you put it on a plaque, it sits flush up against the plaque a lot better. So do the same thing this side. Go in there, find that hole, and just pry that bad boy on out of there. So you can't tell the difference looking at it from the front side, and not many people would be able to tell the difference from the back side either. But it just makes things a whole lot easier to clean, like I said, to mount onto the wall as well. Alright, so we're done cooking the skull. I've got everything out of it. As you can tell, these front nose bones are no longer attached, which isn't a big deal. They slide back in place, and just with a little dab of glue or, you know, epoxy or something, they can be put right back on. You know, they fall out quite often. Now, before we put this into the peroxide, to prevent discoloration of the antlers, I'm going to take Vaseline and rub it all around the bases of the antlers. Anywhere where the peroxide may touch, you want it completely coated in Vaseline. Now, you don't want the Vaseline to touch the skull, because then that part will not be whitened by the peroxide. The peroxide is easy enough to clean up afterwards, where it's not that, you know, big of a deal. It almost makes the antlers look a little cleaner, like a gloss almost. But if you scrub it enough, you can't even tell there was ever Vaseline on there, and it doesn't hurt the antlers at all. Alright, now that we got everything Vaselined, you just want to submerge the deer head into a tub of peroxide. Now, a lot of people use peroxide cream. I just use the liquid peroxide. That's 30%, I believe. You can get it from a beauty supply store. Sally's is the one local to me. So just leave it submerged in the peroxide for a day or so, maybe a little longer, and it'll whiten right up on you. As you can see, I've got the skull submerged in the peroxide. I went ahead and put my nose bones back together. Tied around it, just keep some pressure on it, a little tension to keep them held to. We'll let this sit in the peroxide for a day or two. Whenever I get back to it, and we'll pull it out, dry it off, and then get ready to put it onto the plaque or whatever it is we choose to put it on. Now that we've got the deer head pulled out of the peroxide, it's been drying off for about a day. To mount it, we're going to go ahead and drill a hole right through the base of the skull. right about in the center there. You see we have the hole drilled. Now we're just going to take a toggle bolt, drill through our board, attach the toggle bolt to the skull, to the board, and it should be secured and ready to go. Alright, there's our finished product. Got it nice and secure on the board. It's not going anywhere. Nice color. Said antlers look nice. Need to trim up the board a little bit, but overall not too hard of a process to get yourself a nice trophy, affordable trophy. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, or go ahead and subscribe. Thanks. You guys have